And imagine waiting 7 centuries to see something.
I'm not that old.
Close,
I'm
but
not.
it is to see Robert the Bruce's battle sword on display for the first time in living memory.
Looking forward to
Amazing.
seeing that. We've got...
Amazing, I know.
I forgot we're on the telly there.
Now let's jump from some old sweets to some old swords now, some very old swords.
Over 7 centuries old, in fact, a sword belonging to Robert the Bruce went on display in Edinburgh this week for the first time in living memory.
So, too good not to look at, really.
He's probably the most illustrious member of the family. But obviously he's a national figure, and so we have to share a family member with national history, which confers additional responsibility. We're in the sale room of Bonhams, and this room for this week is an exhibition space for 20 items from Broomhall House, which have been put in the public domain for the first time.
There's very much a story behind every object we have. Some things you may think, well, that's a very humble little thing, but no, there's a big story behind it as well. And
the sword is a 14th century sword. We don't believe it was a weapon of war. It's probably a sword of state. And it was in the possession of King Robert and given to his son David II, and then passed to our branch of the family, because the Bruce dynasty ends with David II. So the sword has been carried from father to son ever since the 14th century. The skull is not really a skull, it's a cast of a skull. And the king's body was discovered in Dunfermline almost 200 years ago exactly, in February 1818. And a plaster cast was made of the skull. And I think there are 6 Canadian forensic scientists examined them all last year and declared that ours was the finest copy of King Robert's head. I think possibly be slightly concerned that today we consider him only really for being a hero in battle. I think there was a much wider perspective that he would have wanted us to remember him for. I can't tell you how much shelf space is devoted in our library to scripts that have been sent to us to be looked at, but this time Netflix kept their cards very close to their chest. But I have on fairly good authority that it's accurate, it's well cast, and it had a lot of money thrown at it, about $65 million, I think. I actually went and watched some filming and was very impressed with him. We weren't as extras, we just went in quietly behind and watched what was going on.
it is free, very much free entry. You can come and have a look at some of the most iconic Scottish articles, and you can also have things valued by Bonhams.
He had a big sword.
I know, amazing piece of history.
I know,
so cool.
looking good.